material, which net substance which are being transported. We discussed air, we discussed water, and now we'll be discussing nutrients. So from where do we get the nutrients? We get the nutrients primarily from the food that we eat, right? When you have when we have studied the digestive system, right? When we studied the digestive system, we had studied that, the food particles get broken down into smaller substances, and then they get further, they get absorbed. Okay, there's one question that I want to ask Arna. Where do they get, absorbed? When we talk about nutrients, where in the digestive system does the absorption happen? Arna?
Yes, ma'am.
Where in the digestive system, which organ does the absorption of the nutrients?
I don't know.
Okay, so it is basically the small intestine, right? Small intestine is the organ where all the absorption of all the nutrients happen, right? The small intestine, as we know, it's basically, it is all coiled up like this, right? And even inside that, there are long finger-like projections, which are known as the villi, right? So villi basically increases the surface area. It absorbs all the nutrition that we have eaten. For example, you had carrot. Your teeth has broken down into smaller pieces. Then the carrot further went into the stomach. The digestive juices acted on it, and then, it made it into a chyme, right? And that came into the small intestine, right? So that from there, maybe, vitamin A, to an extent vitamin C, certain minerals will all be absorbed. And where will it send? It will send to the blood vessels, right? And what will the blood vessels do? The blood vessels will carry these nutrients and take it and send it to the different parts of the body. For example, we have the eyes. The eyes require a lot of vitamin A. So the vitamin A, the blood will take it and send it to the capillaries of the eyes. And then the capillaries will distribute it to the different parts of the eyes, the retina, the cone cells, the rod cells, the different parts of the eyes, whichever requires that vitamin A. So this is how nutrients are transported in our body. Correct? We know how air is transported primarily through the, we have the entire respiratory system, but then again, the blood carries the oxygen and sends it to the different parts of the body. Correct? Now, we also need to eliminate waste. Correct? All the water that we drink throughout the day. Why do we drink so much of water? That is what I was asking. Basically, it also helps, as a medium. Water actually acts as a medium to carry all the toxic materials and all the waste materials, right? And there is a different channel, there's a different system for it to eliminate the waste. That is the excretory system, right?
Ma'am?
Yeah.
Ma'am, wouldn't be like that if we do not drink water for a day, then the digestive system would find it difficult to digest the food, because the food will be dry and it would
Of
be
course.
difficult, right?
Of course, that's what I said. If you don't drink water for a day, all your organs will suffer. All these tissues, all the cells of your body will suffer. Not only the brain, not only the lungs, the heart, the digestive system, the skin. In one day, you will see your skin will become dry. Your eyes will suffer, your hearing, each and every body part will suffer. The moment you drink water,
We will also feel tired and dizzy.
yes, because your brain is getting confused. Your brain will not send proper signals to the different organs. Somebody will ask you for X question, you will answer a Y answer. Because, there's no proper synchronization between the brain and the other parts of the body. So the nervous system will also not work properly. Correct? So that's the reason why. Now water, as I said, is basically a medium which carries toxic waste to eliminate or to throw out the toxins away from our body. And it is majorly done either through urine or through sweat, right? These are the two ways by which, toxic material is also thrown out. If you drink less water, you will not, maybe you will find people who drink less water, they sweat less. That means they are not able to, take out or eliminate the waste. All the waste is there inside their body. People who drink less water visit the washroom less. That means they are not throwing all the waste material from their body. Their body has a lot of toxic waste inside them. So if there is,
Ma'am,
yes,
I know that in summer we sweat more because we drink more because of dehydration. But why, sorry ma'am, my doubt is that why do we sweat more in summer even if we drink the same amount of water in winter?
see, there is something called a defense mechanism that our body does. As I always keep on repeating, nature has made everything very intelligently, right? So what happens when it is very sunny outside and you're going out? It is a defense mechanism to sweat. First, there are many reasons for that. One is that with the direct heat, there is a lot, the cells, what do I say? The cells would throw out water, right? What is the reason for that? For example, if you sweat, if you
And
start,
ma'am, it happens and suppose even if you're dehydrated or dizzy, why do you sweat the most that time?
no, if you're dehydrated, you will not sweat because where is the water in your body?
Ma'am, not dehydrated, but if you're dizzy.
If you're dizzy, that's a different thing. If you're dizzy, dizziness could happen because of different reasons. So I was talking about sweat. Sweat is basically a defense mechanism to cool off your body. To cool off your body. What happens once you sweat, right? And the sweat, you don't wipe the sweat, for example, it remains for a few seconds, right? Then you will feel if there's a, if you keep walking, then, you will feel a little cool. The water, the sweat actually helps to cool off your body, keeps the upper layer of the skin cool. It doesn't allow it to get too dry or to burn it, right? So this is actually a defense mechanism of our body to keep our body cool. That's why that is also one of the reasons why we sweat more during the sunny days. Correct? Okay. So we have spoken about 4 substances which are basically, items or substances that needs to be transported. One is air, second is water, third is nutrients, and of course there are waste products, waste products or toxic products which need to be excreted out. Just imagine, if there is an accumulation of toxic material or waste material in our body, what if I treat them as poison? There are these
Ma'am will
poison.
die, ma'am.
Sorry?
We think that that is poison, we will die.
Yeah, so there will be an accumulation, because these are not very strong poison. These are not very strong poison. That's the reason why we are calling it toxic waste. Toxic because they're not good. They're not doing any good to our body. They're all waste materials. So year on year, if this keeps on accumulating, for example, a person drinks only 1 liter of water every day for 10 years or maybe for 5 years. So that person will have a lot of toxic deposit in his or her body because the person, there's a deficit of 4 liters. The person does not drink 5 liter. If you drink 5 liter, then the correct amount of urine, the correct amount of sweat, the correct amount of your toxic is discarded or eliminated from your body every day. If you drink only 1 liter, then slowly, slowly, slowly the person will have lot of toxic waste deposit and he will slowly keep having diseases. First he will have skin disease, then he will have disease of the digestive system, then he might have disease of the nervous system. His stomach might have, problems. His appendix, there could be stones in his appendix, bile, because bile secretion, even if it is happening, but it is very concentrated. It is not watery, right? So all these things, many problems will happen, diseases will happen. His brain will not function properly. He will not be that intelligent. He will not be that prompt. Everything, all the organs will be affected if the person drinks only 1 liter of water every day. That is the importance, of drinking water every day. Correct? So we have actually spent a lot of time on the introduction part, which was needed actually, because if we did not understand these things, then the transportation would be difficult to understand. So who will read out the first introduction paragraph? Vatsala? Vatsala, can you please unmute yourself? Just try unmuting if you can. Okay, Unmana, read. Read the introduction part, the first part.
All living organisms need to take in air, water and nutrients and eliminate waste products out of their bodies. Oxygen from the air we breathe in is required by each cell of our body. Similarly, water and minerals absorbed by plant roots from the soil must reach the leaves for preparation of food. This means there must be some mechanism by which substances get transported within the body of plants and animals.
Correct. Thank you, Unmana. So all this while we were mainly discussing about animals. Saying is that all this while we were discussing about transportation mainly in animals, right? But plants too have a very wonderful and a very systematic and a very organized transportation system, right? In their case, what are the things that needs to be transported? Priscilla, can you answer?
Ma'am, water and minerals and nutrients.
Yes, minerals will fall under nutrients, correct. What else?
I said food, ma'am.
You said food. I'm so sorry, I did not hear. I heard water and minerals.
Ma'am, I said water, food and minerals and nutrients.
Okay, I did not hear about food. I'm so sorry about that. So basically, the plant takes so much pain doing photosynthesis and prepares its food. That food also needs to be distributed throughout the plant. Correct? So now, so they also have a, as I said, very systematic thing, which actually is not visible to us. But as I said, here what happens is that water mixes water plus minerals. Whatever, manure you add, fertilizers you add, nitrogen, all know how, the transportation happens. But in this chapter, we'll study that what are the cells, how does transportation happen. So basically, if you see, just like the drinking straw through which we drink milkshake and juices, no? So just imagine or just visualize that there is, these long straw or long drinking pipe-like structures inside the stem, which actually sucks the water from the root, and through the pressure, it sends the water to the each and every leaf, because each and every leaf requires that water, right? It would have to send it to the guard cells to build turgidity. It has to reach out till the stomata to open and close the pores. Remember, we had studied about the guard cells and the stomata, right?
Yes, ma'am.
They have to open and close the pore, the stomatal pore. So till the last tip, even if there's a small tiny little bud here, the water has to reach here. So can you imagine the force or the pressure at which the water goes from here till here? Now just imagine if it was like a huge mango tree, If it was like a huge mango tree, you know, the roots are spread all over, right? And the last little leaf or the last little bud which is present here, so water from here, it reaches here. So not a single leaf is missed. Every leaf, every gut cell, every cell receives water and mineral. Isn't it such a brilliant thing? So that's
Yes,
the
ma'am.
reason. So that's the reason why you have to water the mango tree, which is like huge, sufficiently. You have to,
Yes,
according to the height of the plant or the requirement of the plant, you have to water it sufficiently. One bucket of water is not sufficient for a huge mango tree. You would have to water at least 10 buckets of water, maybe twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. Otherwise, what will happen? If you just water it 5 buckets of water, the water will reach only half the tree. Only the leaves till here will receive. And the pressure will not go beyond this. So you will find normally, if you see at home, if you don't water the plants properly, the last leaves, last leaves always start drying first. The leaves,
yes, ma'am.
the leaves present at the base are always healthy because they are closer to the root, so they receive water jaldi jaldi. But the last root, the last leaf, they receive water ekdam at the end. They're the last ones. They're the backbenchers. They receive water at the end. So if you don't water sufficiently, they will not receive enough water. So they will start dying. If they start dying, the tree will